The following is a presentation of KSL Sports. First and 12. A total roundup of BYU and Utah football and the expanded Big 12 Conference. Subscribe to the First and 12 podcast. Your hosts are Mitch Harper and Alex Kirry on KSL NewsRadio.
Welcome back. It is another week and another edition of Mitch Harper and myself, Alex Kirry. It is First and 12 right here on KSL News Radio. Thanks for being with us on the program. Mitch, lots going on, of course, across this Big 12 week, and we've got some games to look at and see what the schedule looks like here. Let's go through with the week ahead in the Big 12.
The week ahead. Matchups that have us the most excited about the week to come in the Big 12.
It's hard to believe, but it's already week 8 in college football, and the chase for Arlington, I feel like, starts to heat up as we get to the midway point of the season, and teams are trying to really still establish their identity, as you talked about earlier. It's still learning a lot about these teams, and we're learning a lot about Arizona and Houston. The Wildcats go to the Cougars in H-Town at 10 a.m. on FS1 this Saturday, an all-out catfight. I'm curious to see how Arizona responds. I will say Brett Brennan was very positive after a loss. Usually you see coaches after losses, they're just dejected. They're
and
so
an emotional
devastated.
one like that,
He's
especially.
Like, we just hung tough with one of the most physical teams in the league, and I thought to myself, that's probably not the messaging your fans want to hear, man. It felt a little moral victory-like.
We played hard, man.
But at the same time, I do see where he's going with, but he better follow it up with a win this week at Houston, because still for the Arizona faithful that just maybe are casual observers, they're going to say, Houston, we should beat them. That was once a G5 team. So kind of a big spot for Arizona and Houston in that early morning FS1 10 a.m. spot.
Well, and they have a lot to prove. Both of them have a lot to prove, obviously. Houston, people still don't want to take seriously.
They could get bowl eligibility, too. 2 words, bowl eligible.
When Kalani brought that up this week, too, at some point, he's bowl eligible.
I forgot that. I'm like,
I did, too. And then I hear that, and then I go, oh, that cheapens it. Yeah, the Poinsettia Bowl awaits, Coach. Yeah, you're right. No, come on.
You didn't get your bowl-bound shirt?
No, I already have the...
it's already on sale.
Listen, we have a contract, so if we get bowl eligible for the next 48 years, we end up in...
We didn't plan on this, but do you miss... You got to... Do you not miss that at all?
I don't miss it at all.
Hey, it's the Fight Hunger Bowl reps.
Oh, yeah, and they're
6 win.
And you're like, how do you know it's Fight Hunger? Well, they're wearing the teal jackets. And you're like, come on. Come on, when they all try to have a bowl committee, you're like, you're not the freaking Rose Bowl. Get out of here with your multicolored jackets that are supposed to be matching.
It's it's November 1st, and we're already giving someone a bowl bid. This stinks. This is not fun.
No, okay. Full disclosure, we'd be up in the press box. We'd see those guys walk in, and every one of us would roll our eyes and be like, oh my gosh. These guys can't wait. They wanted the free ticket out of town to get away from their wife, Jeannie, and go, I got a free meal at the Brick Oven. I heard it's a pretty good pizza place. Get out of here.
Indirect recommendation to El Presidente?
No, it's not. I even told him, I said, don't go to Brick Oven and pretend. Someone goes, go to Brick Oven. Yeah. No, they're doing the frosted mugs. One bite, everybody knows rules. Get out of here. All right. Now, another game that the league has tried to bill, and both of these teams have tried to bill as a huge rivalry game. Since I was a kid, this was never really there, but they're still trying to make it like that. Baylor and TCU. I know there's a name to this.
Blue Bonnet.
Oh, gosh. Official flower of the state of Texas, by the way. Baylor at TCU. That's a big one for both of these teams, because both of them are looking right now at each other and going, so one of us has to emerge here out of these two teams who's got to be decent. And by the way, if you lose this game in your Sunday Dykes, people are going to start wondering in Fort Worth what to do with you. Same thing goes for Dave Aranda, maybe even more so for him.
Yeah, the official rivalry name that the schools recognize is the Blue Bonnet Battle, but the fans call it the Revivalry between Baylor and TCU.
Because now they're both trying to get away from the religious ties of anything. Don't call us a religious school. I know it's Texas Christian University, but just say TCU. Okay?
It's an intriguing game, because you still feel like there's a chance for these teams to, maybe get to the Big 12 championship, because someone has to play Texas Tech in Arlington. It's got to be someone.
Yeah.
And maybe those two teams, if they can get hot, could be those squads. And that's 10 a.m. on ESPN2. If you're tuning into this game, You're sick, but you love Big 12 football. West Virginia at UCF, 11 a.m. on TNT. Again, you're sick if you're watching that one.
It's a battle of the two coaches 2.0. Rich Rod and Coach Frost.
Okay, you got me sold now.
Yeah, go see who does it. Two coaches looking across the sidelines going, what did you do? I don't know. My house is a little bit bigger, I guess. My office is the same office. So there you go. West Virginia, UCF. Texas Tech goes to Arizona State.
Ooh.
This one, man, it could have meant so much more than it does right now. Obviously, the injury to Sam Leavitt, I don't know what that sits at right now, or if that's going to be a multi-week deal. If you miss against Utah at Utah, you've got to be getting ready for that game at Arizona State hosting Tech, right? Isn't that what you're kind of looking forward to, or is Kenny Dillingham going to run into an issue where he's going to lose out on an opportunity to go back to Arlington because his quarterback is out for a couple of weeks during the worst part of their schedule? Yeah,
he reportedly participated, Leavitt did, in practice this week.
He did last week, though, too.
And that's the thing. It's like, how seriously do you take the fact that he was in practice? The availability reports will start trickling in on Wednesday, but I struggle to think of Dillingham just punting on a road game at Utah where that could have been a real signature victory for this team. But maybe it's the long game to have a chance to win at home because ASU is good at home. I mean, they have been excellent in Tempe. So, and I got to think, I would not have said this a couple years ago, but I expect Arizona State fans will show up. They'll turn up and be sold out, I would expect, for this game to welcome a number 7 Texas Tech squad. I think Texas Tech and ASU, that should be a fun game. Number 24, Cincinnati at Oklahoma State.
Oh, I was going to ask you about this game.
6 p.m. ESPN2.
I was going to ask you about this game. This feels like a Big 12 special where we'll look at each other and go, what is wrong with this freaking league when we get the score update and it says it's 31-17 and Oklahoma State fans, all 19 of them, that one guy with his shirt off storms the field. Can you find a fan base if only 14 people storm the field? Isn't it just technically like people cleaning up after the game? I expect Cincinnati to roll. I guarantee the message is do not sleep on anybody in this league. If there's a team to sleep on, though, it's going to be Oklahoma State.
Number 23, Utah. At number 15, BYU. We already talked about it a little bit earlier, but let's dive into it a little bit more. 6 p.m. Fox and KSL News Radio. Kalani brought up earlier this week that the two schools need each other. Like, whether they want to admit it or not, they need each other. I thought that was interesting that Kalani said that. And, look, I think when we kind of look at it big picture with just the Big 12, I do think that when Utah and BYU are together in the league, they do build each other up, and I think that they build up the leagues that they're in. You think back to the WAC, the Mountain West. That Mountain West Conference, when they were together, Utah and BYU and TCU, that was a great league. I remember we'd have conversations about, is the Mountain West better than the Big East for the BCS
for sure.
Automatic bid? These two, when they're together and they're competing against one another for league supremacy, it does add an intensity and a fun and an entertaining aspect to the rivalry that makes it very rewarding. But I do think that even though the two fan bases do not like each other, when they are together in the same league, I think it helps lift up everyone involved.
Try hard to throw away your regional affiliation and our history with this game that we've covered for, in my case, almost 20 years. You're getting close to that number too, it feels like. So is this the biggest rivalry in the conference?
No question.
By far, right?
Hands down.
Am I being a person who lives in the state of Utah too much by saying that?
Baylor at TCU, a protected
That's
rivalry.
Supposed to be a big one.
It's a protected rivalry in this league.
Farmageddon.
And it's 10 a.m. ESPN2, and it's not even batting an eye. I think most casual college football fans wouldn't know it's a rivalry. Whereas BYU and Utah, maybe you haven't tuned in. If you're a casual college football fan, you haven't tuned into that game, but you know it's a rivalry because Utah and BYU, they just hate each other, and that's half the battle. You just know those teams are rivals, and it's a great rivalry. I'd be curious to see what the league does going forward in future years, where they put it on the schedule. Scott Draper, the football director in the Big 12, told me that Arizona and Arizona State will be protected at the end of the season every year.
Are you saying Scott Draper, the guy who didn't take the tortilla gate seriously? Is that same guy? We're going to allow him to handle this?
He told me that at spring meetings, and I wonder if with how this game is kind of being magnified on the national landscape if they say, you know what, let's let this become the new Red River, because this used to be the spot, mid-October, Texas State Fair, Texas and Oklahoma, and that's what it was last week. Maybe Utah and BYU can do this thing in mid-October as well.
Let's take another break here. We'll come back. Now let's get into the predictions of how this week is going to go. Our game predictions for Week 8 of college football in the Big 12. Stay right here with us. It is First and 12 on KSL News Radio.